Good morning, everybody. Today I want to talk about, or this video, I'm going to talk about Moody's downgrade of China's debt. Somebody, I actually saw that. I didn't really pay much attention to it, but somebody sent me a comment about it, and I wanted to, make this video on it. Whenever it comes to these rating agencies, I don't even know where to begin. The downgrade of China's debt is absolutely as meaningless as Standard & Poor's downgrade of the U.S. credit rating back in whenever that was, 2011. I remember when that happened, the market was down big. I actually made a television appearance that day. I was telling people not only to buy stocks like crazy, I was saying buy treasuries. The problem with these rating agencies, and they're so stupid, is that they do not understand the distinction between a currency issuer and a currency user. All right, the United States is a currency issuing nation. It is not beholden to any creditors. It issues its own money. It sets the rate on its own money. Same with China. China uses its banks. Those are state banks, and they are fiscal agents of the government, and they lend in RMB, in yuan. All right. So those banks, even if they have bad loans, that's functionally like the government of China running budget deficits, as if the U.S. government runs budget deficits. That has nothing to do with the ability of the banks to continue lending in their own currency. It has nothing to do with solvency of the nation in its own currency. The rating agencies are idiots, okay? They do not understand. I had a big, long conversation with somebody from S&P Sovereign Credit about this, who refused to recognize the distinction between, a country that doesn't issue its own currency, where it literally has to borrow, and a country like the United States that has its own currency. Now, remember, these rating agencies are the same firms that rated all of the junk mortgage securities AAA, all right? Look what happened to those. But yet, they'll downgrade a nation like the United States or a country like China that lends in its own currency, where the banks in that country are government or state-owned, and they are mandated to lend. It's like fiscal policy, okay? The people at the top, all right, the policymakers say to the banks, okay, now, we want you to lend at such and such a level, and they lend in RMB, the local currency. I mean, so it's like there is zero risk. Or I should take that back. The only risk really is if the Chinese take this to heart, if the Chinese leadership or monetary authorities listen to this garbage advice and then decide to curtail lending, so there is an economic contraction in the country. That is the risk. And they might do that simply because you have a lot of Western educated Chinese economists. They come here, they go to school here at these schools like Harvard and Stanford. They go back there and they have been polluted with this junk economics, and then they spread that around and they behave in a way that the junk economics tells them to behave. And, you could see them push policy that would cause the Chinese economy to contract. Hopefully the people at the top understand that in a country of whatever, 1.3 billion, 1.4 billion people, you really cannot afford to have an economic contraction. So, I think they're going to be very wary about curtailing. But anyway, so that is my comment on that. The downgrade of China's debt by Moody's is asinine. It's ridiculous. The credit rating agencies are ridiculous. You shouldn't pay any attention to them. Or better yet, when they do something like that, if there is a market reaction by zombies, you should do the opposite. All right, see everybody later. Bye-bye.